It's been challenging because of the weather and trying to get areas to train on. Obviously, down here, at Woodhouse Grove, they give us some really good facilities, but unfortunately, it's been underwater. The lads don't want to be on 4G all the time, and then the high winds have come into play as well. So, but we've managed to be on grass for a couple of days, which has been good. Today, I think we had 20 training outfield players, and it started a little bit, but we got what we wanted in the end, so it was a good tempo to it. But then again, you look forward and see what's coming the weather again. So it'd be nice when this weather clears up. But as I said, it's the same for every club at our level, I would imagine. But we just want to try to get as much football in them and get them out on the pitch so we can do work with them, really.
I know there was quite a bit of frustration after the result of the weekend with the weather conditions. Have you been able to put that behind you now? Yeah,
you've got to do. We analyse it, look at certain things. Still obviously disappointed we didn't take anything out of the game of two halves as we thought. And obviously there's things we've got to improve on. But that's put to bed. Certainly for the players. We've talked about and discussed certain things that we can do better, naturally. And then we look to the next game. It's been interesting this week. Myself and Kenny went to watch Macclesfield and Plymouth. Obviously we've got Plymouth soon and we've got Macclesfield at home coming up as well. So it was good to see another game, and two sides going right at it. And then obviously the night after to watch Newport and Salford as well, on the TV. May I add, I didn't travel to Newport. So that's always good because you're learning about all your opposition and everything else, and other players out there as well. So it's been good in that, getting information, but we look forward to getting back to what we're getting paid for, really, and trying to get results on a Saturday.
What were you able to glean from watching on Newport?
Obviously, I think the surface conditions, I think I've spoken to 3 or 4 managers who've played down there recently, and I think if you look at the scores, I think we've had 0-0s, 1-0s. Yeah. I think we've got to be honest, it's on a difficult surface, it's always probably going to be hard to create opportunities, and I think that the other night was a case in point. Salford and Newport, both teams really committed, which you would expect trying to get to Wembley, but not a great deal of quality, and I don't think that's because either side haven't got quality. I'm just thinking certain conditions and certain ways that sometimes can't be brought out. But again, if you just listen to the manager's comments after the game, I think both managers sort of stated the same. So we'll know the pitch is going to be difficult, but they've had a hard slog on that for 90 minutes on Wednesday night, and hopefully we can go down there and be positive. That's all we're asking. We're going to go and be positive. That's the main thing.
Well, they've proven, haven't they, this season, that they're quite a tough team to break down. I think they've conceded the second fewest amount of goals in League Two.
Yeah, I've read that earlier. That they're certainly solid and strong, organised and defensively strong. But likewise at the other end, they've not been scoring as much. So that's up to them to sort out. But even the other night watching Salford, you're watching how we think. When you're as a manager or a coach, you look how we can break them down, and it would be difficult, because it's two committed sides, which is going to be on Saturday as well. So I think what the key is then making the fewest possible mistakes, and you're hoping. Graham Alexander said afterwards, you're hoping for somebody to produce a bit of magic, and we've got a few of them in the team, so hopefully we can do that.
Bodies wise, team news wise, anything to report?
No, Curtis Guthrie's still missing with a little niggly knee problem, nothing major, so he misses out. Again, I don't think at this moment in time, I don't think we'll have Cookie available, but again, there's another 24 hours, so who knows. Kelvin Mellor's back training with us today. Probably Saturday too early for us, but that's a positive. And other than that, I think we're okay. The little knocks that we had after Saturday have all recovered, and most of the lads trained today.
Are you looking to make any changes then off the back of that?
I certainly might be. You never know, but we'll see. Obviously, again, not that we put too much on the opposition, but you look the other night and teams changed. Newport went to a back 5, which they haven't been doing for a while. Obviously, we changed it last week and went to a back 5. So, I would imagine we'll sit down with the staff this afternoon. Few things to take from today's training. I had a little thing in my head and players, and today's training is probably spun a couple of them, you know. But that's what you want. You want players to make it difficult to leave you out. And we had a couple of, you know, strong individual performances today, which makes us think. So we'll have a chat this afternoon, but there will be possible changes. Yeah.
I saw that you said, or you'd called on the players to really show that they wanted to play for the club. Have you seen that in this week?
Yeah, you've got to. I mean, I think they've just got to know the level that we're after, the commitment and the desire that we're after. You know, we've been slightly sloppy in certain things that we've been doing, and that's probably more off the pitch. You know, and certain things that we've just needed to tighten up on. I think they need to know where the standards that are expected are, and they're under no illusions now what we accept and what we don't accept. And I think, you know, you've got to take that on board. And if you don't take it on board, it's simple that you won't be here. And that's not a threat, it's just a fact, you know. And I think the lads know that. They can't come knocking on my door in a month's time or 3 months' time and saying, oh, I didn't realise this, didn't realise that. It's basic standards, a level of dedication, and doing the right things to the best of your ability. I mean, I think a lot of time at this level where we're at, there'll be a lot of signs that are much of a muchness maybe in regard quality. So it's the other bits, the nitty-gritty, the determination, the drive, the desire, the willingness to want to do things, and just enjoy being a footballer. It's probably the best job in the world, really. You know, so come in each day, enjoy it, don't be sloppy, don't be casual, do your work, easy.
With that knowledge in mind, then, are you close to knowing what your best or your first starting 11 is now?
No, because I still think we've still got people to see, really. I mean, obviously last week, wasn't it? It was difficult to, like Glenn Middleton, for example, had his debut down there, and it was, everyone knows the conditions. I think Saturday again, because of the surface, it'll be a tricky game for certain people. We've hopefully got a game arranged for Tuesday next week, again weather permitting, which we can see certain players play that we haven't seen really play, you know, competitive match football yet. But I keep saying it, we're learning all the time and evaluating all the time, and but you know we're getting each day you get a clearer picture. You think, I can rely on them, I can trust them, and you can hang your hat on, regardless of ability, as long as you know you can trust them to go do a job. As I say, I think ability-wise, you know, there'll be a sort of a certain level, but thereafter that it's your desire and commitment, and you know, that's what we're looking for.
And looking at the league table, I mean, sitting at 1 point outside the playoff place, that must be an added motivation for any player.
Well, everything to play for, but to be honest, I look at Ian Holloway's Grimsby, for example. You know, probably, obviously safe, not going to be pulled down to the bottom when he went in. Obviously, didn't look at the time that they're going to get into the playoffs unless they have a miraculous run. But the demands are the same because you're playing for your futures, you're playing for next season. So, yeah, it's still, you know, it's important that we do everything we can to be in and around the top area. As you say, we're only a point off, but I don't think it'd matter if we were 16th or if we were 9th or 8th. You know, what we're after from them is exactly the same.
Back to Newport County, I imagine it'll be a nice moment for you sharing a touchline with Michael Flynn as well. Yeah,
of course, Flinny. You know, it's nice to see players that you've had as players. And Flinny's one of them, and he's done a terrific job there. I felt a little bit gutted for him, I've got to say, the other night when they got knocked out on penalties. I thought second half they were probably the side that, you know, looked as though they were going to win it, and it's a cruel way to lose any cup tie, especially with obviously Wembley on the horizon. But yeah, I mean, again, it was the same as last week. I don't think I've been to Cambridge for lots of years, and Newport's exactly the same. I think it's probably back to when I played when I was a kid. Yeah, it'll be getting used to that and everything, but again, it's I'm sure I'll have a chat, a cup of tea or a shandy with Flinny after the game, but first and foremost would obviously, just like himself, committed to doing well for his oon side.
He said he gave you a call when he realised you got the job back here again. It must have been nice for you keeping in touch with former players as well. Yeah,
Flinny's always kept in touch, and likewise when I see him do certain things in his managerial career, I'll give him a little text and a message. But yeah, we had a good little chat when I took over. You know, I had this game penciled in straight away, you know, because he's got affinity to Bradford as well. So yeah, it'll be, you know, it's a game that two sides are both desperate to win.
Best of luck, thanks.
Cheers, thank you.
And obviously, as you said, you've seen what Newport are like. You watched them on the telly. and you're looking at your own players, is there a case that you look at certain matches and think, well, that player will suit that game more than another game?
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I looked at the game last night and watched certain areas, and you always look for, not as I said before, well, you take into account the strengths, but where you think you can get at them and what areas, and obviously the conditions and the pitch, etc., all comes into the melting pot. But I came in this morning thinking of certain things, and then we've had an hour and a half training session, and other people have jumped ahead, and other thoughts jumped ahead. So, yes, you always have little ideas what you think you can do. Even the other night when I went to the Macclesfield-Plymouth game and saw how Plymouth set up, they've been playing this 5-3-2 all season and play it well. Everyone tells me they're the best team in the league football-wise. But you look at ways I think you can get at them in certain areas. So you're always watching and trying to be proactive in your thoughts. But ultimately, if somebody then comes in training for a couple of days and you go, wow, he deserves a little chance here, then it can throw your plans into a little bit of a change. And that's what's happened slightly today. There were a good positive session today, considering everything. So I was pleased with that.
I suppose you're almost watching the weather forecast as much as you're watching opposition and your own players at the moment.
Yeah, even tomorrow here, we've tried to get on grass, but I think the winds are going to be 40-50 miles. So constructively, we don't do a great deal on a Friday. It's about getting out there, then going through a bit of shape, set plays. So I think constructive-wise, we've been driving probably 15 minutes away to get on some grass. Whereas tomorrow we've got 4G on his doorstep. We can train on the 4G. If we're not doing a great deal, it might benefit just be out there for 45 minutes, whatever it may be. Or we might still go up to the grass, although it was pretty soggy today. So you've got it's balancing everything. We're not at a top elite side where you go out and you've got a choice of 10 pitches and you can go on any one. And so, but it is what it is, and you get on with it, and that's half the challenge and half the battle.
Cheers.
The pitch, Stuart. I mean, obviously, when you were playing early 80s, when you first came through, you must have played on some good pitches like that.
Yeah, great. We were just talking with staff, myself, Kenny, John, we were just talking about the young ones. Remember the baseball ground at Derby? It was a constant, cow field really. And you had that, even the top levels, there were no immaculate pitches like now. Even the Division 1 games, at Leeds and at Derby, at the top grounds. The pitches were like that, and you just got on it with an acceptance. Obviously things have improved, much rather play on good surfaces. Naturally you get better quality, but yeah, I remember going down to Newport. I think we might have won down there 1-0. Was it 1-0? John Hawley, there you go. Yeah, gosh, I think that's probably the last time I was there. And it was a scrap and a battle, and you do what you can to get over the line and win it in any way you can. Football's about winning, and you find different ways to do it. And as I said, even though we mention conditions and we mention pitches and weather, it's not an excuse. But, you don't want to go and play your more sort of ball-talented, dainty players on a cow field maybe, or whatever it may be, or, as I said, throwing loads of crosses in if it's 50, 60 mile an hour winds. So you've got to sort of an eye on that. That'd be naive not to. But you've got to stick to what you think you believe can go get a result, and that means personnel, tactically, whatever it may be.
So, you're used to what those pitches are like, but some of these young lads, you say, to the pitches now aren't. How do you sort of, prepare them for where it could be, we know the conditions are going to be difficult, the surface is going to be unpredictable?
Well, you just like today, a couple of probably the younger ones. I mean, the surface we're on at the moment, it's not ideal, but you get on with it, and it were a bobble and a bit of a moan, and then the wind picked up, and so I said, right, well, it's easy. So if it's going to be like that on Saturday, does that mean you don't want to travel with us? Oh, no, of course not. Oh, because that's what you're going to get. So get your mind around it now. You know what Saturday's going to be. It's going to be a battle. But in that battle and in the moments of calm periods, then can we have that bit of quality that can win a game? But yeah, listen, there's no whinging and moaning. It's not accepted there, even if they're cold and that. You just get on with it. Man up, get out there, get on with it, train, be the best you can, back in, get ready to go again.
You said about obviously watching games this week and sort of getting your head round other teams.
Yeah.
Has League Two changed a lot from when you were here before?
I've watched a bit of League One this year, and obviously we're in League One last season, and I think the quality, and you look back now at our squad compared to what it was a couple of seasons ago and going back to Division 1, you've got your Laws and your Cullens and, McMahon, Marshall, good football, Billy Clark. I can go through all the squad really, technically really good players. Obviously we've come down a level, and maybe the level of quality is not as good as it was, but we've still got some players in there that can win games for us, and that's what we're looking to build upon. But I can't see that enough really to make a decision, as in compared to when I was at the last time at this level. I do remember like Paul Ince's teams and Paul Lambert's sides, Darren Ferguson's side, they had some top quality players in there, and they all went on to do well. Whether there's that much about, I think looking at certain games, it does look that. I was looking forward to watching Plymouth the other night, and don't get me wrong, they did. But Macclesfield were really impressive the way they went about it. They could have been 2 or 3 up, as I said, after 20 minutes. So I don't think there's a great gulf in between teams at the top and at the middle. I think everyone's giving each other a game at the moment, and as I said, that was on show the other night.